Hey guys, it is Coach Minky, and some of you might know me, some of you might not. I am the social media director over at the Dance Spot, yay, here in Burlingame in Osage County. I'm also the social media host, so to speak, of our YouTube channel called Dance Spot Family Vlogs. I also run our Instagram, which is Dance Spot Family Vlogs. And yeah, that's what I do. I started the Dance Spot over 11 years ago, and I started it because I couldn't afford to get my kids into really good studios in Topeka. They were actually dancing at the Dance Factory, and I just couldn't afford for them to do what I wanted them to do, which was the expensive levels of competing and going to conventions and things like that. One kid, maybe, two kids, I just couldn't afford it. And I knew I had enough training and enough background and my own experience that I could get my girls to the level that they needed to be able to make a college team. And that was my goal. So I went ahead and created the Dance Spot, and we focused on the basic trainings that you needed to be able to get into a college team. And both my girls got offers, and Courtney was the one that accepted her offer and ended up at Emporia, and she was an Emporia Stinger, level D2. We were so super proud of her. That was like one of the best experiences of her life. She learned so much when she went to Emporia. And my other daughter turned down her offer and decided she really wanted to be a coach. And so she stayed home, and Maddie has been a part of the Dance Spot ever since she was 11. So, and she's a huge contribution to our competition kids, and she's won a lot of national championships for us too, for her choreography. So I'm good with that. And then my son, who also was a dancer, he experienced some stuff that helped direct him into how he became a musical engineer now. And he's back in LA, and he is working his way back into the industry and doing what he needs to do. So dance has been a very big opportunity for all three of my children, and I'm very fortunate for it. And I am hoping that I can convince you that you need to bring your kids to the Dance Spot too. So this video I'm putting it on our Facebook, and I am also going to put it on our YouTube channel. And I'm just going to give out some tips and some advice, and I'm even going to get some hidden secrets that some other dance studio owners might not like me revealing. Sorry guys, I know we're friends, but they need to know the truth about what some of us do. That's not so nice. Because it's a really financially hard world right now on these people. We need to not rip them off, okay? Okay, some of y'all still ripping them off, and we in harsh times. So I won't call you out. Anyway, so let's get started and talk about why should you dance at the Dance Spot? Well, let me tell you. First and foremost, if you come to the Dance Spot, you will have the biggest cheerleader in your corner. That is Courtney, wanting to set a goal for your kid. Her number one goal for every dancer that walks through that door, whether they're 5 years old or they're 18 years old, what do you want to do after high school? That is her number one goal, and dance can get you there. Now, the sad thing is, pretty much all of the dance scholarships that have been awarded to kids from our community only come through our studio. And I'm not trying to be harsh and bag on other dance programs in the area, which i.e. the schools. It's just that's just not a focus. They were also athletes, so they wanted to do a volleyball scholarship, and dance was just something that they did for fun for halftime games. We take it to a little bit higher level. We encourage every single one of our dancers to dual not just our studio, but to dual sports and to dual cheerleading teams and dance teams. And over the years, I've posted about that. We have several of our dancers that have been All-American cheerleaders and All-American dancers, and and captains of their teams. And that does help them with opportunities in getting in scholarships and so forth for college. Why do we push this? Well, because we really, really want kids to understand and parents to understand that you don't have to spend a lot of money on going to college, and you can do it for free. Like, one of our girls is actually, we are not fully announcing it yet, but she has been offered a full ride, books and tuition for 2 years of education in college. And that's a lot of money. And dance was that opportunity. If she hadn't had dance, she wouldn't have had that opportunity. So we want to give that opportunity. We want that to be the focus. So if your kid walks through the door, Courtney is going to start grooming them and preparing them for opportunities to go for schools. She already has every single one of the kids that are on the team put in a wish list once they hit high school. Start thinking about it. She says, start thinking about college. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? And I will look and see if those schools that you want to go to for that education, for that type of goal that you want to be a veterinarian, or you want to be work in the police force, or if you want to work in the medical field, I will help you find out if that school offers opportunities for discounts in education because of your dance training. And that's what she does. And she spends a lot of time doing it. So that is the number one thing as to why you have chosen to come to our studio, because of the one-on-one commitment Courtney makes with kids for their future. So it is not just a place to dance. It is actually an investment, and that's the way we look at it. You're investing in your kid's future, and we're doing the best we can to help make those goals happen for your kid. That's the number one reason. Now, the number two reason why you should be bringing your kid to our studio is because we completely get how expensive this stuff costs to be in competition. We get it. We've been there. I've done it with all three of my kids. I have family members, my niece, my cousins. All of them have experienced this arena and this world. I have been doing it since 1989, y'all. I'm an old dog. And I've done it in Hawaii, and I've done it in California and Rhode Island and Oklahoma, and I've done it here in Kansas. So I have many years experience of understanding how this competition dance and cheerleading world works. And you want to make sure that if you are going into that arena, that it's not costing you a house payment, okay, or a car payment. Now, I don't even know how to say this because I don't want to hurt other studios or other businesses at all. That is not my goal here. I am not trying to detour you, who, if you're watching this video, to say, don't go to that studio. You should go to Oz because we're cheaper. No, I'm just explaining the bare minimum facts, okay? It costs a lot of money to enter dance competitions. It's kind of silly, but I love it. So I do it, and it's good experience for a kid who wants to go to college for free using dance. If you don't know how to compete and handle the pressures of competition, how are you going to handle an audition? There's 100 kids wanting that one spot that you're auditioning for too, for those free scholarships. It's not just like nobody's knowing about. There's a lot of dancers from out of state that get it, that are from Kansas City that get it, or in Topeka that get it. So they all put their time and effort and money into finding a place that's going to give them that competitive edge. And so that's what I am trying to get you to understand. So if you want that competitive edge, I can personally message me. I can give you some of the top studios in Kansas City and Topeka that I highly suggest that's going to get your kid at that competitive level. But you're going to pay a lot of money for it and a lot of time. So we are just as good, but on a budget and on less time. So if you're looking for an arena to get your kids at that level, because we're having our dancers go up against other studios and they're getting scholarships against other studios. We beat other studios that are big studios. We're not just some little podunk studio that goes into a competition and we don't beat anyone. We do. We have beat a lot of really large studios from Kansas City, Iowa, Missouri, Oklahoma. I mean, we are not just the last on the rung all the time, okay? We know what we're doing, so to speak. Anyhow, so we try to keep it at the bare minimum of what it costs to be in that arena, giving you the best training so that you can be a winner in that arena, because you're having to do double the work that those other kids can afford to do. So let me just give you a general explanation on how it works. Most studios across, not just here in Kansas, but across the country, if you want to be on their competition teams, you have to be spending at least 3 to 7, even 8 hours of dance class training a week to even be eligible to audition for their competition teams. We do 1. We require 1 hour of training a week of technique. 1 hour for our first level of competition kids, okay? They have 1 hour that they're required to do a week of technical training. Now, our level 2 kids, which is our Diamond Company kids, they have 2 hours of training that they are required to do once a week in their dance technique training. They have to do it. Now, we offer an additional hour of tumbling and acrobatics that the Diamond Company doesn't have to pay an extra fee for. That's included in their monthly membership fee. And the Emerald Company, if they want to do it, it's just an extra $10 a month. What? You said $10 a month? Yes, an extra $10 a month. Any other studio that you go to will not give you a multiple class discount. At most, they will give you maybe a 10%. We're giving you more than half off. More than half. A class that costs $32 for 1 hour per month, and then you get a second hour for only $10. We must be cuckoo. No, we know it costs a lot of money to do dance, and we want to give them the best training without it costing you an arm and a leg. And that's why we do what we do. So here we go. That's number 2 reason, right? So we're into the number 2 reason about the competition world and the costs breakdown, okay? If you can afford competition life at that level, I have been told, and I have witnessed, I even had the studio that Aubrey was at this last year. I had the older moms tell me who have kids that are in 8 to 10 routines a year. And one of them had 2 daughters doing the exact same thing because they were twins. It cost them $1,000 per routine. That's for costuming. That's for entry fees. That's for the choreography of that routine. $1,000 a year. If you had your kid in 8 routines, that's $8,000. $8,000 just for 8 routines that year. That's not including your weekly class rates or your convention fees. Or do you understand my brain here? It's exploding. I'm just like, I was like, what? That's like buying a car. And you do that every year? And I went, and you got 2. I don't understand that. Like, I get it. We're all very competitive, and it costs a lot of money to get really good teachers to come into your studio. I get it, but I also don't get it. So that's why we created the dance spot. All right, so this is what we do. We have a monthly membership fee. All your choreography fees, all your training fees, all your actual practice time to learn the routines that you need for competition. And yes, our kids can do up to 8 to even 12 or 15 routines as well. We charge $85 a month. How much is it for our routines per season? Well, our kids go to 4 competitions. They split up their 8 or 15 routines that they do into the 2 different regionals. So instead of doing all 15 routines at all 4 competitions, we only take half of them to these 2, and then we take half of the others to the other 2. So yes, they still get the 4 different experiences, and they get the 4 different competitions to compete their solos at. Because, that's what a lot of moms that are the studio hoppers like to, it's about the solo. Anyway, so they get 4 chances at all of these regional events. And then at nationals, we pick the best that scored the highest out of all season long. So our kids are dancing just as many numbers as the studios that have kids that are dancing at $1,000 a month or $1,000 per routine. Now they're good. And they're dancing at the top of the top levels, and they're winning super huge scholarships, and they're the ones that are dancing at major conventions. I am not discounting anyone who can afford to put their kids at that level, because if you can afford to do it, you're giving your kid a huge opportunity because they can be working towards a professional goal. It costs a lot of money to invest in the dance arena, okay? It is very expensive to become a professional dancer. That training alone is insane, okay? So you have to be very serious about this if you want to get something beyond college. If you want to be a professional dancer, you have to look at it as a serious investment, not just a fun recreational program, okay? So that is number 2 about the competition arena. We do not charge more than what the cost is to enter that event, if that makes sense. And yes, I'm calling out studios. Some of them actually upcharge. They add an additional fee on top of what the competition costs so that you will pay for their hotel room, and you will pay for their gas, and you will pay for their hourly rate of being there to watch your children. We don't do that. And I get it, especially if you have a huge staff. I'm not trying to be nasty and mean. Please don't come on. I don't want to be that. But I'm being serious and honest to the people that are our customers out there and telling them the truth that this is what really happens. So again, if you can afford it, you're going to get that one-on-one with your coach. They will be there with you, but you're paying for them to come all the way to the venue with you. Okay. So that is the other thing. So what do we charge? We charge $85 a month for our top level kids. That's our Diamond Company kids, to get the training, the choreography, and the experience, right? Okay. Just like any other studio does with their top level kids. The only difference is we compete in the lower level because we don't train as many hours. They train at a higher level. We win just as much as they do in the lower level, and we beat their lower level kids all the time. Okay? It happens all the time. We beat the lower level kids from these bigger studios all the time. Now, there's a few studios that just whoop our butt, don't matter how much. They just amazing, okay? Even with their little young trainers. And I idolize those studios. But anyway, so $85 a month. Now, our entry level competition team, and that's what Emerald Company is. It's entry level to intermediate level. So you're learning about dance, you're learning about the competition world. You'll have younger kids on that team, but you'll also have older kids. We have had seniors, high school seniors that have danced on that team for a couple of years. And there's nothing shameful about that. That's awesome because they're getting the training, because they gonna beat your high school dancer that has never had competition experience for that college scholarship. I can guarantee you that. So it don't matter if they're on a lower level team here at our studio, they're still at a higher level team than they would be if they were just at a high school dance team around Osage County. That is a fact. Oh God, I'm going to get killed for this. But hey, you know, it is what it is. I'm a truth teller. So let's go on from this. Okay, so Emerald Company is $55 a month. You add your tumbling training, it's an additional $10 a month. That's $65 a month. Now you say, I have two daughters. Like the one who had two daughters that was paying $1,000 a routine. We have the best in the entire world second sibling discount rates. I'm not even joking. The best. Your first child dances for the full price that we offer at the studio. Guess how much it costs for your second child to come and dance at our studio? For the training. Not no little 10% discount of like $3 off, another $32 a class. $15 a month. That's it. That's it. They come in, your older child pays $55 a month to be on the team. Your younger child comes in and you were thinking, oh God, that's why I can't have both my kids in there. That's $100 a month. I can't afford $100 a month. We're only charging you $15 for that second child. Because we know you got to buy 2 costumes, 2 entry fees. We get it. So that's what we charge. $55 a month for your first child, $15 a month for your second child. If you're on our Emerald Company. If you're on the Diamond Company, it's $85 a month and $15 a month for your second child. And guess what we do for your third child? What's that look like? Oh yeah, that's... Courtney likes to work out discounts with her families. And the second child is $15 a month. The third child is only $10 a month. And if you can't even afford that, she's willing to work with you to make it free. Why? Because she wants kids to dance, guys. She wants to give them opportunities. And because she loves families that come into the studio that just want their kids to dance. So with that in mind, that's number 2 reason why you should bring your kids to our dance studio. Number 3 reason. Okay, you were probably waiting. You're probably waiting. Well, if that studio costs $1,000 a routine and my kid is at the dance spot and they are competing, how much is it per routine? Well, we only require our kids to be in one routine for the studio, which is the production routine. They have to do the production routine. It's the routine that includes the Emerald Company and the Diamond Company all together. And this year it was our Descendants routine. The year before it was Candy Mania. And next year is going to be even more fun. And that routine will cost you $50 at 2 regionals. So that's $100. Your costume is going to cost you $50 because we never charge over $50 per costume. Never, ever, ever. So at the highest level, it's going to be $50. So that's $150 for them to compete that at a regional. Then you have your shoes, your tights, all that kind of stuff that you need as well. So you're going to cost you a little bit extra in that. There is no choreography fee. There is no additional fee. There is no taking us to competition fee. You're not paying for my hotel room. So you're paying $150 for that one routine to go to 2 regionals. And then you're $85 a month, okay? And for some of you, you're like, oh my God, that just seems so crazy expensive. Compare it to the $1,000 per routine, and these other people are paying close to $300 a month on their training. My head explodes, okay? I know for a fact a local studio that's south of us that charges $32 per class per half hour. We're doing an hour. They're doing half an hour. I'm just saying. Why? Why would you spend that kind of money? Because they love it, I guess. And you can afford it. So, anyhow. That's why we do what we do for our competition kids. Now let's move on to reason number 3, why you should have your kids come to the dance spot. Because it's a lot of fun, okay? And we are a very, very close family, okay? We aren't picky about who we pick to be on the teams. Pretty much anybody who walks in the door gets to be on the team. There is a guarantee that if you want to be on the competition team, you will be on the Emerald Company team. Now, there is a specific expectation of your kids, and that's what makes it hard for a lot of the kids that come through our studio. They come through and they're very excited, and some of them think it's going to be like recreational dance and we get to play and fun and goof around, and it doesn't matter if the routine is that good or not, and we don't really remember it. But because we are a competitive studio, we expect more out of our kids, because we have a harder we have to train our kids at double the amount of focus than it causes other kids to do. We really, really push our kids. So some kids can handle it and some kids can't. And we really talk about the seriousness and the professionalism that they need to have when they're in a classroom, even if they're 5. Aubrey went to a convention, and it was very important that we pushed on that kid. You are not to be tumbling through the classroom when you are at the convention. You are not to be climbing on the teacher's riser. You are supposed to be at the front of the room, ready to go, in your shoes, with your hair done, focused in the class. You are not to leave until you are allowed to leave. And she won a scholarship, and she was 4. Okay, 4 years old. And I'm not saying that my granddaughter is some superstar dancing ballerina. She barely can do a pirouette right now because she's 5. But we've taught her how to be very professional. And that is what you have to do, and very respectful. And it's not playtime when you come to the dance spot. So if you want that kind of discipline for your kids, and you want them to have that kind of respect and rapport when they go to these kind of events, bring them to the dance spot. Because they'll learn that from us, definitely. Now, the other thing is that we have a lot of longevity at our studio. That means that people that when they come to our studio, they end up staying with us for years, not just like 1 year, and then they quit and they go do this or that. Most of our kids end up either, if they ever do quit our studio, they either just never dance again. They're not studio hoppers. I've only had like maybe 2 out of the 11 years actually hop, and that kid fizzled out by the end of the time that she was done hopping. She's not even dancing anymore. And the kids that she started with are still dancing at our studio. So it is a longevity. There is this like feeling of family unity that keeps them at the studio. So we are really proud of what our girls have built, and I am really proud of what my girls have entrusted in these kids. We call ourselves a family, and it's legitly a family. These kids come to Courtney and Madeline and talk to them about things that are just not in the dance world either. They are there for them. Both of my girls have serious background and education and work with children, not just at the studio. They've worked in schools. Courtney was a substitute teacher all around Osage County for several years. Now she's working at the Health Crisis for Children up in Topeka. So, or the Health Crisis Center, I guess it is, for children, where she works with kids that are in crisis and that need therapy and things like that. And that is her job now that she does up in Topeka. Madeline has worked for years as a para, and she is considering going back and working in that again. I have background in early childhood education. I have a degree in it, and I ran preschools for years in Southern California and taught them in Arizona as well. So we do love children beyond just teaching them in the dance world. We have also educational background kids too, and we keep that in consideration. So we have doors of opportunity for our children to be able to come to us that they like. I can remember Courtney was actually even allowing the kids to come in and work on after dance class, they would come in and she would help them with their biology classes and stuff like that. And they would have tutor time and things like that. She's really focused about your kids beyond just that dance room. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but there are studios out there that really pretend to be there for your kids, but they're really about your dollar that's in your back pocket and pushing your kid through the program like a freaking machine. And yes, they like your kid likes dancing, they look cute, they're doing the little recital, but they don't care if they ever go to college. They don't care if that kid is struggling at school right now. They don't care why that kid is crying and came to class all like this, all upset. They don't take the 15-20 minutes out of the time and step out of the classroom and actually talk to the children and work with the parents on if there is something going on at home to help like make the transition. We always tell our kids, this is the thing I love about our studio. You leave your troubles at the door, but when dance is over, we're always here to talk to you. So when it is time for practice, those troubles stay outside that door. But when it is over and you need someone to talk to vent to be a shoulder to cry on, to be someone that can help you out, even in your third grade issues that you might be having at school, Courtney and Madeline will be there for them. They will counsel them through it, and they will give them a feeling of comfort and protection. And that's what we want for our children in this world, especially from our coaches and leaders and teachers and things like that. So if you're wanting that kind of a relationship with your teachers, with your staff, we will do it. Now, the other thing we do is we also, how do I say this without sounding nasty? We do not put up with parents that are there for showboating. We don't. If you want your kid to be the superstar, well, then they have to earn it. They don't get it just because of who they are, what town they come from, what name their background, their last name is. They have to be a superstar because they earn being a superstar. If your kid is a super tumbler, they're going to get the super tumbling aspects. We don't just put people in the front row of a dancer team because we like their mama. They're in the front row because that kid earned it. That kid gets a spotlight in a dancer team because they earned that spotlight, not because they're paying the most money at our studio. I hope that makes sense. So I'm not trying to discount or disregard people that are like that at other studios. And I've seen them. They're there. We've had them in our studio, and we've encouraged them to go to the others. We've actually said, hey, you would be a perfect fit at this studio, not at ours. Because we don't have time for showboaters. We have too many kids that we invest too much time with individually that we just do not have time to play the showboat road. So that is the other thing that you can be guaranteed. Nobody gets special favors. Nobody gets special treatment. There are no favorites. Like, yeah, oh, okay. There are favorites, but it's favorites that are like, that's my granddaughter. That kid's been dancing with me since she was 5. If that makes sense. Of course, you're going to get a little more favoritism because you had the longevity. We've known you since you was a wee one when you're brand new coming into the arena. But there is absolutely, this is such a great thing about our studio, absolutely no room whatsoever for drama at our studio. And there's a lot of people that are like, I have heard this reputation. Oh, the dance spot's nothing but drama. No, we kick out drama. You do realize that. We get rid of it. It don't exist because we say there's the door. So yes, there's drama. There's drama in every dance studio. I have witnessed it just this past year with my granddaughter at another studio in Topeka that I paid a lot of money for. Drama is ridiculous in dance world. It's ridiculous. So if you want drama, you'll find it in every single dance studio in the country. There is not one studio that does not have drama, that does not play favorites, and they pay, and they will, it's a pay to play, okay? We don't do that here. So if you want to be that, we will highly give you suggestions on where to go. But you ain't gonna play that game in our studio. You're gonna get along with everyone. There is no disrespect in our studio. And a lot of these kids go to schools together and they live in the community together. Do you realize how many of these kids are longtime best friends came from the studio? Not from kids that they grew up with in their hometown. It came from the studio because we enforce the understanding and the responsibility of understanding that these are sisters. This is a sisterhood and you will be respectful. And we've had kids with drama that have had issues. Go back in our vlogs. You can watch them where I talk about it. Diamonds do break. Things happen. Kids are kids. Family life happens. But we try to make it the best functioning situation possible and transition possible for these kids. And every single one of those dancers, every single one, have all, in one point or another in their lifetime, come back to Courtney, to Madeline, to me, and said, being at the dance spot was the best thing I ever did in my life. At that age. Not overall, but at that age, during that time. When it was a struggle. You remember better things than you remember negative things. And if you found a dance studio that's like, if you found a place that you absolutely love, that you feel like a family, that you feel like that your kids are being completely 100% valued and appreciated, and that they really are truly invested in you. You're not just a number. You're not just a freaking paycheck through that door, then you need to stay there. Don't come to the dance spot. Stay where you're at, because those kind of studios are rare and far to find. They're hard to find. And I love studios that are like that. And I will promote them that are like that. And I will encourage you, if you live in those areas, to go to those studios. I am probably the most outspoken dance studio owner in all of Kansas, probably all across the country. I don't know any other dance studio owner that has talked about other studios to take your kids to, that has relationships with them, that when they go to competitions, that those other studio kids love you and love your studio and love your kids because of the respect you give each other. And that's all about what this is about. It's about respect. If you respect what we can provide for your children, we are going to give them 150%. If your kids respect their teammates and they value the time that's shared between them and put as much effort into their practices as much as the kid standing right next to them, they are going to feel valued, appreciated, and they're going to feel like a part of this family. They're never going to feel left out. So those are my top 3 reasons why you need to come to the dance spot. And for some of you, you might be like, oh my gosh, that just sounds like a whole world of chaos. Tell me who does not have chaos in their local schools. And I know for a fact here in Osage County, it happens all the time with all these teams. I don't care if it's a volleyball team. I don't care if it's a football team. I don't care if it's a softball team. I don't care if it's a cheerleading squad. I don't care if it's a dance team. I don't care if it's a band. They all have it. It's all over, guys. So what you want to do is you want to find a place that you know that the kids are going to get their best foot forward, their best opportunity, and I don't know, the best pat on the back. So we have tryouts coming up, and we would love for you to come and try it out. We do have contracts that we have parents sign, and in the contracts, we do have some rules for parents as well on how they should behave during competitions, during the season, to our fellow parents, and to their dance kid. So those contracts are not just for the kids to sign and to give their commitment for a year, but it's also for the parents. So it's kind of like a team effort, not just from the kids, but also from the parents. So what you're joining here is you're not just joining some dance classes, you're joining a team, a big team, and a team that really, really is very close and very suspicious of anybody who's going to come in and ruin that for them. So If you want to be a part of this team, come on in. I'm telling you, we will love you. If you are all on board with everything that we're going to say, you're going to have the best time, and you'll probably never leave the studio until you graduate high school. We're honest, we're real, we're authentic, and you can see it in our vlogs. And that's what I love about our YouTube channel. So go check out our YouTube channel. You can see all of it on there about how we win these trophies, about kids quitting, about studio shutting down. I mean, we talk about all of it. We're not talking about just the super, we're the best, look at our awards, oh my god, we're the best. We also talk about, hey, we had to shut the studio down, hey, we had a broken ceiling, hey, we had these kids like throwing a big fit and they had a fight at school, so now it bled into the studio and I'm really irritated with them, they need to knock it off. So we have all that, and we're honest, and we talk about it and reveal. So if you want that, that's what you will get here. Now, if you're wanting a recreational dance, like I said, we're going to try it. I think we can do really well at it too. And now that the studio is evolving and we're bringing in new blood and new teaching staff, I think that that can be a part of it too. And have opportunities for kids to just come in and have fun and not have that pressure of competition. So we are going to start it in the fall. We've already picked the times. Maddie is going to teach it, and Maddie is amazing with kids. That's why every school here in Osage City, that's where she paired at. She paired it at Mission Valley. They absolutely loved Madeline. She was one of the best paras, and she works so good with young kids. So she's going to run our recreational program for young kids. She's going to do a tumbling and dance class, and it's going to be for ages 3 to 5. And the last time we did this in Alma right before the COVID, because we were starting it in Alma, and it was running so well. We started out with 3 kids, and by the end of the year, she was overflowed with students so much that she had to bring in Daytona, which is one of our long-term OG dancers that is now going to be a senior next year, and she's stepping into the coaching arena. So her and Madeline are taking over the younger programs. They are going to be running all of our competition babies teams. They're going to be doing the choreography for them as well as for solos and things like that. But then they're also going to be investing into this new rec program that we're starting. And I don't know where it's going to go from there. I have no idea, but I know that they're going to put as much effort that they put into their competition kids into this rec program. That I can guarantee you. They're going to give your kids the absolute same exact training and expectations of training that they give to that diamond company, and they are going to invest it into those rec kids. They're not going to just be running around the classroom. Those kids that are on the competition kid team, they have serious training that they have to do and they're expected to do. Same applies for our rec kids, and that is going to be the difference between another recreational studio that you go to where your kids are just there for an hour, and if your kid doesn't want to participate, the teacher ignores them. And it's flat out truth. I've seen the recital videos where there's 10 or 15 kids that have been learning this routine for months and months and months, and they don't know it at all. They are legitly standing there in the back, running around. And this choreography is super easy. So I know by watching those recital routines, that means that's how it is at class. That kid is probably sitting there playing on the floor, or that kid is running off, getting a drink every 5 seconds, or that kid is doing this, or that kid is doing that. And they pretty much just kind of bounce around all the time. So you're paying for a bounce around class for an hour or a half hour, and you're paying double the costume fee because they're not charging you at cost for the exact same costume we got from the exact same company that we're charging way less. It again does not compute unless you just love watching your kid bounce around and you don't care. And they look cute, so you're like, whatever, I don't care. So the recreational program is going to go on Monday nights, and it's going to be for ages 3 to 5 years old. And it's going to have Madeline and Daytona, and I think we're also going to have Alexia that's going to help out when she can. She's new cheerleader at Santa Fe Trail. I'm super proud of her. Woo woo! That was a big goal for her, and we helped her get that confidence to do it, because she would have never tried out for cheerleading if she had not been training at the dance spot. And she'd only been training with us for a year and a half, and she was able to beat out a lot of girls for a spot on that team. And I know it had to do with her technical abilities that she learned at the dance spot. So I'm super proud of her, and she has been an amazing helper with me with my littles programs. And yeah, she's going to be there for the next year, and you will see her with all of our littles too, helping out. Anyway, so we've got that class that'll be coming up. It's going to start in August, I believe. And then right after that, she's going to have an 8-year-old class. We call it our elementary class, or our 6-year-old class, sorry. The elementary class. And it's for elementary students. The ages kindergarten through 6th grade. You can come in and take the class, and each week you're going to learn a new combo of dance styles. So you're not... Let me put it to you this way. Okay, so I say my kid's like, my kid just wants to do hip hop, or my kid just wants to do ballet, or my kid just wants to do jazz. Well, your kid would never know unless you had them enrolled in every one of those classes. So if you had your kid enrolled in every one of those classes, which I know this other studio that I'm comparing us to because they're so close to us, they're just south of us, they charge $30-something per class per style. So you're paying $90 a month, more than my diamond company, mind you. Keep that in mind. You're paying $90 a month for your child to dance 3 different dance styles. Our kids are training 1 hour a week, so that's less time. You don't have to be at the studio, all right? And you're only paying $32 a month. And they're learning the exact same level of technique, and they're learning the exact same styles of choreography. And once they decide if they want to move up to competition team, that's when they have the opportunity to do multiple different styles of dance. Like all of our top level dancers are killer at hip hop, contemporary, lyrical, jazz, you name it, they can do it. Acro, that's 5 different arenas, and they're paying only $85. Again, I don't get it. And they're beating your kids. I can't. What? Moving on. I guess you just, whatever. You don't get it. You don't know. So, whatever. Woo! Anyway, so she's going to do that. She's going to have the preschool class, and then she's going to have the elementary school class. They are going to spend the first semester, which is August until January, learning all styles of dance, learning all styles of technique. The babies class is going to also be learning acro along with their dance training. And then starting in January, they will be doing their spring training. And during the spring training, we will allow new students to enroll during that time period. And during the spring semester, those kids will be purchasing a studio team shirt, and they'll getting their shoes and their tights, and they will be getting their costume, because they will begin working on an actual routine of technique that is going to be baller, that is going to have a lot of movement and ability that would be competitive. And they will be performing it at the recital. So anything that your kids learn at recreational level, we could take to a competition and we could probably do well with. And that's the whole focus. So the first half of the semester is to get them that training and that knowledge they need. The second half of the semester is to get them the training and the knowledge that they need for doing a choreography routine that they would perform at a recital. And they will be insanely awesome. I can guarantee you that. They're not going to be just bouncing around or standing in the background. And they will have enough training and discipline that if they did want to move up to the competition teams, like on Emerald Company and so forth, they're not going to be behind. They will be completely at the same level with those other kids and ready to rock and roll. And that's the whole idea behind it. If you want your kids to have that opportunity to get a college scholarship to dance at Emporia or Ottawa, we haven't ever done a D1 kid yet, so we don't know if we could make a D1 kid yet. None of our kids have ever auditioned for a D1 school yet, so I have no idea if we could. I would love it. I would love to have a Classy Cat or a Rock Chalk Jayhawk dancer or Wichita Shocker. I mean, that would be crazy good. That would be awesome. But we've never had one audition yet. Jessica or Justice will be the first one to audition, and we really hope she could make it. I don't know. It's so hard. It's so crazy hard to make a D1 school. But she already is committed to Wichita, regardless if she makes the dance team or not. And she is committed to getting a minor in dance. So dance did help her in that avenue. She is going to be minoring in dance. It's going to be part of her education. And who knows where that'll take her. Maybe she'll open up her own style studio down the road when she grows up. Or maybe she'll come back and teach with us. Anyhow, I just know that if you really, really want to invest your money wisely as a dance parent in this arena, you want to do it with the people that are not going to overcharge you, that are going to really have a serious focus and goal. And they're going to be honest with you. They're going to tell you if your kid, look, your kid can't make a D1 school, or your kid can only make a D3, or you know what? Maybe dance isn't the thing for them. We've actually done that. I know a lot of kids that I've said, you know what, they're much better baseball players or softball players. Go spend that time. Do softball. I have 2 kids that I just saw one of them last night that I'm like, she was a good little dancer. I loved having her, but she is such an insane softball player. So I love watching her journey. She's going to be a senior next year in Osage, and it's so awesome. Love you. You know who you are. If you're watching this video, shout out to you. Trinity. Anyway, I'm glad she chose that route because she's insane. And it was the smart decision. And she will probably get a scholarship for softball if she wanted it because she's baller. And that's our thing. If we see a kid who has a much better opportunity for a college scholarship and dance is lacking them that opportunity, we're going to tell them, go do sports. Yes, I know you want to be at the dance studio. I know we'd love to have you. We hate not having you there because you were a good asset to the team. But my God, why would we take away an opportunity for you to do something even better in sports? We're not going to do that. We want to be on the same page and tag team with these parents to give your kids the best opportunities possible in life. And if it means not dancing at our studio, that's what we're going to do. I even remember one kid we had years ago that we said, if you can afford it, take him to the studio. And I even paid for them to go and take classes at that other studio. You know what that kid did? Went and took classes, was excellent. I even had them go to the tryouts, and I said, go try out for their competition team. I want you to be on that competition team. They're so amazing. I can't wait to see you there. They couldn't do it. And they're back dancing with us. Because it didn't matter that was a highly reputable, amazing competition team. That's not the journey that they want to do. And they're not going to go dance in college. They don't want to be a professional dancer. They just want to dance with us and with their family. And that's how I feel. So if you want to be a part of our family, come to the tryouts. It'll be at the Burlingame studio, June 7th, 5:30 p.m. They can come in shorts, t-shirt, tank tops. Make sure their hair is pulled up. They don't have to have one lick of dance experience whatsoever. Just an interest, just a desire. And there's no tryout fees. So you don't have to have any money to come in. So it could be just a free class and see if dance is anything that your kid wants to do anyway. They come in, they try out. And if Courtney sees the potential for him, she'll tell him where she thinks they would best fit. And that includes if she says they're not ready for competition team, they're ready to go and do the recreational team in the fall. It starts out at ages of 5 because Aubrey's 5. So Aubrey is on the Emerald Company and we're basing it off of that. And if you want to be on Aubrey's dance team, come on. She would love to have you. We love that team. It's building and I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, and we'll be totally upfront and honest with you about everything about our prices and everything that is expected and all of the days that are required for the kids. And if you really want your kid to be a part of it, but you're financially concerned that you can't afford it, tell Courtney that too. Be like, I can only afford X amount a month, and she'll work with you. You know, sometimes she even works it out to where it's like some parents only, they go out and get sponsorships from other grandparents and uncles and aunts and maybe even local businesses to help pay for their entry fees or their costume fees, things like that. So we work with everyone. If your kid wants to dance, we will work with them. And we will make, as long as you're willing to make the commitment to be there, to make your kid understand that there is rules and responsibilities, and to be disciplined and to give us 150% effort, and really have fun with it, we're going to give them 150% effort back. So it's starting to get really muggy. Woof! We had all these storms and tornadoes and everything. Okay, this has been an hour-long event talking about dance and talking about why you should bring your kids to the dance spot. I hope I clarified a lot of information and understanding about how our studio works, how the dance world works. And I like I said, I don't want to be disrespectful and make people feel bad for paying for what they're paying for at other studios. But if you're not happy there, that might be why. And I can't guarantee you that we're going to be the happy place for you either, but at least you can come and try and see what we're all about, and have fun. And keep your kids dancing. Get them involved in something. Don't have them just sitting on a bump on a log this summer, you know. I hope everybody's playing softball. I think they are, because, oh my gosh, we had a heck of a time trying to find softball shoes for Aubrey. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great weekend. It's Memorial Weekend. Time to remember your past, your memorize. Memorial Weekend is not just about remembering people who have passed away. It's also about, or veterans and things like that. It's also about just remembering, reflecting back, and remembering what got you where you are. That's why graduations happen at the end of this time period, and your end of the year recitals happen at this time period, and your national championships happen at this time, and things like that, because it's letting go of the past and saying hello to the future. And that's the way I look at Memorial Weekend. So I hope you have a wonderful, amazing Memorial Weekend. Stay safe, and have fun. And I really hope you think about coming out to the dance spot and joining us on June 7th. Just even for just the free tryout. So, yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. I'll be there. I'll be with the vlog camera, and I'll be vlogging it for our YouTube channel. And it may just be the 30 kids or so that we already have. Or it may be a whole bunch of new ones. I don't know. That's a fun, exciting thing about the new dance season every year. So, okay. We've had a great 2021. I'll be putting up a new video here in a couple weeks, commemorating Justice and Madison's amazing time and history at the dance spot, and talking about our upcoming, I kind of like call it a mini recital, because it's not many routines. It's going to be more like a mini party. It's the end of the year mini party with some dancing. That's what our recital's going to be like. It's not traditional at all. But it's going to be fun. So, and it's going to be a great way to celebrate it, because we didn't get to have a spring show last year because of COVID. So, stepping in new waters. That's what 2021 has been. Stepping in new waters. Next year is time to gear it up, fire it up. We got all the cylinders rolling again. We got a new studio that's being rebuilt. And I'm pumped for next year. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good season. It's Daytona's senior year. It's Alexia's senior year. It's Autumn's senior. I mean, Autumn was there the very first day I ever opened up the studio when she was a baby. She was Aubrey's age when I first taught in Scranton. So this is gonna be crazy cool. I can't wait. Anyway, all right. I will see you guys again. Hope you join us. Love ya. Peace out. Bye.